So for today's guide, we got our friend Abbott here. Well, bot friend Abbott. So Abbott will be joining us, and let's have some fun now. So first up, what gun classes are good? Honestly, every gun class, because this is one of the few maps where it favors any type of playstyle, which means any type of gun. So let's start with the spawns. This spawn is the Crimson spawn, and the other side is the Black Ops spawn. These spawns generally stay the same, so unless you're playing Headquarters or Hardpoint, you're not going to be spawning in the middle right here. However, obviously spawns can flip, so if an enemy's too close to here, then my team's going to start spawning here. So we're going to be talking about my go-to areas to push, and right now we're on the Crimson side of the map, so when the match starts, I'm going to push up here. Now, I'm only going to push up here if I'm playing a long-range game, because long range is good on this area right here. So, I'm challenging this, and that. It's almost guaranteed that two people are gonna go into these windows here. So this is a really good spot to start at. But now if I'm playing a more close range game, then I'm gonna go down here and run up to here and just take the zip line, and this zip line goes to the enemy spawn. So this is a really good spot to be in. Now we're on the Black Ops side, and my go-to areas to push are pretty much the same. The only difference is that they're on opposite ends of the map. So here, again, if I'm playing a longer range game, I'm just going to go up here. Okay? It's the same thing, and it's the same thing over here. It's just that this spot's a zipline. If I'm playing a close range game, then I'm going to go into the enemy spawn and just push everyone right here. So we're going to talk about power positions and line of sights. So I already talked about this. Oh, wait, this is the Crimson side, by the way. I already talked about this area right here, these three windows. And I mean, no need to go into detail about that. But let's move on to the left side here. And you got this zipline area. And well, it's okay right here. You're looking over at... This spot is only good for destroying that spot, because this area is not a popular fighting area. So don't expect much from it, but there's a headquarters that spawns there. So if one spawns there, take advantage of this area. But now if you don't like how exposed you are when you're up there, you can go onto here. So it's literally under the zip line. You can just shoot this, and these two areas have their pros and cons. Down here, you have more cover, but you don't have the high ground. Whereas up there, you have the high ground, but no cover. Well, you have a bit of cover, but not as much cover as you were to have if you were right here. There's also a little rock located in the back here. Right here. I'd only really recommend this if you're really good at controlling your recoil with an AR or LMG, or if you're using a sniper, because if you have a sniper, okay, this isn't a sniper, but this is a scope. Yeah, if you're using a scope, this is really good to just sit back here. Now moving on right behind here, and it's this little canister. Now this canister's sole purpose is to help you kill people that are just sitting at the rocket launcher right there. So you got a nice head glitch that counters that head glitch. Well, evenly counters the head glitch there, so you should be able to kill them there. But now moving forward, you have this... I already talked about this rocket launcher, but you can hold this. If you hold this, then you're shutting this area down. Not many people will be able to beat you when you're just sitting on a head glitch like this. And trust me, most people will push through there if they can. So this rocket launcher area is a nice spot to hold. Let's say someone's already sitting up there. Well, you can kind of sneak over to the right side over here. And just go onto this railing here, and just sort of sneak up. You don't have to mount, like you don't need to climb on it. You can just crouch on it and then no peek and dead. That's a nice spot to hold. You also have these cannons. You can sort of lean head glitch. You can't mount on this side, but you can sort of lean head glitch on them and counter the window there or people sitting on the crate. You can also go right here and shoot at people that are just sitting in these areas. So this area is not good if someone already knows you're here, but if someone doesn't know you're here, then you're most likely getting the kill because you're getting the jump on them. Now this one's not really a power position, but it is a line of sight, and you have this. You're looking at the enemy's area. This is where some people will try to flank, so if you sit here, then you can catch people off guard when they try to run and flank you guys. This is a decent spot to hold. But you also have this. This is... This doesn't seem that useful, but there's a headquarters that spawns in here, and sometimes I'll just mount on here and I'll get quite a few kills because people don't know that you could just go up here and mount on this thing. But if someone does know that you can mount on it, well then you could just go behind here and then have better space. Like yeah, you have less sight, but you're more you're more unexpecting when you're just sitting back here. And now we're on the Black Ops side for the line of sights and power positions section, and we already talked about this. No need to go into further detail about it. But if you move on under here, go down the stairs, you can technically go here, and it's an alright spot to be in. You do have the low ground, so the enemies will be able to kill you a bit easier than they would if you were up here. But this isn't ideal if these two doors are open, because if you look, in order to get to that window, I gotta run through there and get there. And the enemies that are sitting up there, up in those windows up there, they're already gonna know that you're running over here. So I wouldn't recommend trying to go to this window here unless the door is closed. But now moving on to the left side, it's located right here. You got this little lean in, you can mount on the wall here. And this is really only used to counter those that are sitting on here. They're pre-aiming that spot, so you could kind of try to catch them off guard by mounting, leaning in, I guess you could say, and hopefully get the kill. But if no one's there, then you can slowly peek onto these canisters, well, mount on these canisters, and shoot at the two windows over here. If you want to lean in a bit more, you got line of sight into that. And if no one's there, well, move on to the rocket launcher I talked about earlier, holding this, or it's located right here, and you're holding that spot. You're holding that spot, okay? And it's the same thing that I talked about on the Crimson side. It's really up to skill that proves who can win this fight. Now moving on to the middle. Okay, this is the same cannon that I talked about earlier. And if you're sitting here and you suspect someone's just sitting up in the window, catch them off guard, shoot them like that. If you want to lean to the left here, you can mount on this side. You can get that window, that window, that window. You can also get this area right here. When I'm moving on to the right middle side of the map, you have the crate and this window. In my opinion, you do not want to mount on the crate. Do not use this to try to fight those guys there. Just don't. Use the window. Because so the window, you have better line of sight onto this second window here. If you look at the crate, you can barely see that. You can barely see that. Unless you're using a scope, you're probably not going to get the kill on that guy. So I'd recommend going over here and just sitting on the window right here. Yeah, this window is also better because this crate is prone to flanks. Flank right here means you're dead. If you're not paying attention, you're going to die. Whereas if you're back here, they have to go all around and you have the door closed, then you might have a chance to kill them. Whereas if you're over there, there's no chance. Now let's move down this ladder down here. And we got this little ledge here. Now, I talked about this. I kind of talked about this in the Crimson side, about the zip line or sitting up there. This one, it's okay. It's not the best spot because you got the high ground that's going to catch you off guard. But you also have that window peeking you and this area in the middle just staring right at you. So you got to be careful. If you know your teammates are going to protect you on that side, then you should be fine if you're sitting over here. But I wouldn't recommend this, especially when you're playing with randoms, because randoms aren't going to protect you. So now we're located right under this building, and you got this. Got line of sight to the enemy's flanks, and catch them off guard. And I already talked about this kind of side, or this little spot applies to both sides, both Crimson and Black Ops sides, because it's right in the middle. So, I mean, yeah, you could just sit up here and catch them off guard. So when it comes to line of sights and power positions, I think that the map is fairly balanced for both sides. I mean, yeah, you got the ridiculous high ground on this side here, and this side doesn't really have a high ground. But I don't think that's a big deal because this isn't a popular side. Not many people will go over here. Obviously, there will be 1 or 2 people that will go on this side of the map. But if this side of the map was sort of like the middle, then that's where it would be. I would call it imbalanced. But in my opinion, it's actually a fairly balanced map, and I don't mind it. So now let's talk about flanks, and obviously this is the Crimson side. So we're going back to the basement here, and if you run over to the enemies, spawn building. Well, not spawn building, but spawn. You have this zip line here. And this zip line leads to the enemy's second floor. I talked about how this power position is pretty powerful. But it's not so powerful if you're just constantly flanking this area. I mean, the fact that this zipline just leads to that power position is such... It's actually... I like it. I like it because this powerful position here, it's not so powerful anymore. I mean, it's still powerful if it's left alone, but... I mean, I'm not leaving it alone. Are you guys? But now you also have this little... second floor... Well, first floor doorway that you can jump through on the zipline. If you just take the zipline normally, it's automatically gonna take you to the second floor. But if you take the zipline and time it, you jump like, oh, nope. Jump like that, then you will be able to just go to the bottom floor here. And if you want to just leave those guys alone, you can just go to the flank and shoot at anyone camping here. So that's a good flank. I use that flank a lot. I find it very useful. But now we're going back to the basement, and I talked about how you can go through over there, right? Well, now you can go to the left, and you can sort of try to sneak your way over here. If you know no one's up there, then you can take the ladder. But what I would do, I would just slowly sneak over here. I use Ninja, the Ninja perk, so no one's gonna hear me. But I'll sneak over here, catch people off guard here. If I want to go around, I can just go to the enemy spawn and just mess up everyone's spawn camp. We can also go through here, this little ladder, and catch anyone that's camping on the crate. But just be careful of people who might be sitting in this, because that window is far better than this crate. I talked about that. Well, you can kind of flank them and go over here. I also forgot to talk about this, but when you're going from the second floor here, after you killed those guys over here, you can kind of just jump over here through the window. If someone's aiming there, fight them here. If not, you can sneak over right to here, and yeah, you're back to destroying that power position. Now let's talk about the Black Ops side for flanks, and it's pretty much the same thing. Well, this first one's the same thing. You go down here, you can sort of catch them off guard by running up these stairs. See that? You can run up these stairs. Testing. And get into the enemy spawn. You can go up onto the power position with the windows. You may have noticed that there wasn't a zip line that led to the enemy's second floor. Well, there is a zip line. It's just on the outside, so it's not in the same flank, but it's kind of close. So let's go right to that zip line I was talking about, and pretty much it just goes to the second floor of the enemy's building. No one's up on the zip line. Well, just take the zip line and just decimate the power position over here. Yeah, if you're doing it for the sole purpose of trying to get rid of this power position, flank using the zipline here. The zipline's faster, it's safer, because yeah, someone will be camping here, but if no one's camping here, then you'll be able to kill them. You can also sort of take this area and again ruin the spawns and just go over here. So let's talk about domination, and Black Ops side gets C and Crimson side gets A. There's not much to talk about when it comes to domination, but with the B flag, you could just hide behind the cannon over here and hopefully you'll be able to take B. And if you're trying to either protect your teammates or trying to kick people out of their power positions, just use the power positions I talked about, and you should be able to capture B flag. So let's talk about search and destroy. And search and destroy bomb placements, it's actually not that bad on this map. So you got A bomb, which is in the basement flank area, and I'd honestly say it's not bad, because A bomb, yeah, you have 3 areas to look at, but if you manage to plant the bomb or you're defending it, you have a decent... Yeah, like you have decent cover over here. You can just stand here and watch these 3 pathways. Now, when it comes to the B bomb, it's in a bit of a weirder spot because it's in the enemy spawn, so that's a bit more risky. However, if you manage to plant it here, or you're defending, of course, you can just sit right here, look through the windows, and see if anyone's there. And if they are, you could try to shoot them from here. If I had to choose a bomb placement, I would choose A over B because it feels a bit more secure in a way because it's in a confined space. So if you manage to capture that, you know where the enemy's going to come from. With the B bomb, you don't really know where they're going to come from because there's just so many angles that they could get you at. With A, there's only 3. And credit to the Game Atlas website, but here are where the hardpoint spawns are. This is where the map guide for Protocol ends. However, I'm adding a new section where I talk about weird and just wild spots on the map. I just felt like adding this section. It was cool. So if you don't care about that, then you're welcome to leave. Thank you for watching. And for those of you who are staying to see these weird spots, let's go. So I just want to talk about some weird areas of the map because this one definitely has some odd areas. And in the in the Black Ops spawn, you got this ladder area here. It's located right here. And I don't see the point of this, because, I mean, yeah, you technically could challenge this if someone's sitting up here, but I mean, this isn't really useful because it's so far back and it's so situational. I think that I feel like this spot is just for infected, or they just wanted to fill the map. Another weird spot of the map, it's still in the Black Ops spawn. It's just this little beachside area here. I didn't even notice this area until I started making this video, because it's just so far off in the distance. No one's going here. I've never been here. It's such a weird area to be in. Now moving on to the Crimson side, we got the helicopter pad. Now I know I talked about this for search and destroy, but that's just so situational, and it's for one mode. Who is actually over here? Now, it's not as obscure as the beach side in the Black Ops spawn, but this is still such a weird and unnecessary area. We got to the end of the video, and overall, this map is pretty solid. There's a reason why I found this to be pretty high on my tier list. And I think it's one of the better maps of Black Ops 6, and that's saying something because these maps kind of suck. I'm honestly just so thankful I have the opportunity to do this, so really, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Alright, I'll see you on the next one.